Normally Evo is fun because it's Evo and not because it's a fighting game tournament. It's like serviceable, but there's a lot of like quality of life things that were rough about it given the size of Evo. I've been watching Evo since 2009 and I've been in person every year since 2014. Playing casuals with people and like getting food or drinks or water in the venue was a nightmare. Like it was so hard. But now it's like Evo is still the big, prestigious tournament, and also there's nice quality of life things about it. It was both this year. This is what it looks like at Evo. Think about where I'm standing as like the back quarter of the room. This is all tournaments. So this like little mark right here, this little X, this is like the tournament area over here. There's like a line in the middle, and then on the other half, this is like on the bottom down here. This is where all the casuals were. This is where all the side games were. In the middle was like all the booths for the developers and all of the artist alley stuff, all of the arcade stick manufacturers, and like everywhere you wanted to buy stuff was in the middle. This is the TO desk, right? So the TO desk, and then it separates, and then all of this is tournament. Everything you're about to see is tournament. So when I scan, this stage right here was Multiverses. Then there's Tekken, yeah, because that looks like Spag, right? Then there's Guilty Gear over in the corner. So everything you see here, this is all tournament sections. And then that's main stage. So this is where all the finals happen. And then over here, this was, I don't know what game was on here at this time. This one on the left is Dragon Ball. This is Street Fighter. And then this over here is KOF. The tournament space is bigger than like any other venue's tournament space, right? And this is just like 1/4 of the room. And when I 180 here, you see like all the way back here, which is like double the distance to that stage I just showed you. That's where all the side games are happening. Casuals are in this back left corner over here. It's hard to describe how big it is. Like it is far to walk through. The artist alley is like bigger than most like ballrooms, I feel like, for tournaments. Like it's humongous. I would say like 90% of people would walk up to me and be like, hey, what up? This is my first Evo, or I've never been before, or like, this is my first offline major ever. So many people have probably gotten into fighting games over the last couple of years and just not been able to go anywhere, right? So old Evos were not, first of all, not this big. This is bigger than the old Evo venue. But for 99% of the time when you want to play casuals at Evo, the way you play casuals is you would tweet, or you would like hit up your friends and be like, hey, who has a setup in a hotel room somewhere? And like, if you wanted to play casuals, some guy would be like, yo, I got a setup in room 300 and whatever. And you're like, I can't get into your room unless you have a key card. And they're like, oh, let me come down and get you. They bring you up to their room, and then you go in, and there's 30 people in one hotel room with 1 or 2 setups, and everybody's trying to play casuals. And then they're like, all right, if you want to get on, like money matches have priority. So there's 2 people playing a first to 30 for $5 on the station, and you're like, why the fuck am I here? It's terrible. That's what it was like before, though. You need to understand. So now it's like, if I wanted to play casuals, I would just go to the venue. This is what I did. So Friday, I had to do like a thing on the Sony stream where I was like on there to talk about Guilty Gear and like a bunch of other stuff. And then I hosted the Arxis panel, and then I got to chill again. They told me, hey, bring a stick. You're going to be playing the director of the game. So I brought a stick to the venue, and I was like, well, I'm here at like 1 o'clock. So I just went over to the casual area. Every setup had like a PS5, and the PS5 had like all the games at the venue, right? And it was like separated into the games. A bunch of people came by, and we just started playing. And I played casuals for like 3 hours. Evo is not like this. I need you to understand, this is unreal. Anybody who's been to Evo before can tell you did not go to Evo and get to play a lot of casuals. It was one of the worst parts about Evo, actually, is that so many people internationally and all over the world and all over the country would go, and then playing them was hard. It was really nice to just be able to go sit down and like play games and then chill. It was like the park that we do here in the chat, but like in person. This is true. It's people who are by the casual setups can tell you this happened. I played casuals with someone at Evo, and you know who you are. I won. It was pretty close. And the person flipped me off like this close to my face and said, you got lucky. Fuck you. You know you got lucky. Fuck you. Stood up, grabbed me, and said, hey, now we take a picture. Fuck you. And then took a picture with me. That was a Potemkin? Yeah, it was a Potemkin player. You probably don't want to act like that in public. That's probably not the best thing to do. But also, I just took the picture. What was I going to do? It's funny because 99.9% of my interactions were awesome. So I don't really care. That was the only time I was like, well, dude, chat room. Evo had like 140 arcade cabs in an area that was just an arcade. Free to play? Yeah, you can just go up and play. And I talked to Rick, and he was like, I'm going to get more for next time. And I was like, you love to see it. You know how he is. He's like, you know, the largest amount of cabs someplace is X. I think we can beat it if we do this and that. And like, yeah. I did see some of the big pieces of feedback. One of the biggest things that people went to Evo wanted was a time that was on Sunday to buy stuff from all the vendors. That makes a lot of sense. I could see why people want that, because if you're playing in tournament Friday, Saturday, and you're really busy, it's not easy to just like shop the artist alley and shop the vendors and like check out all the different places there is to buy stuff. Or honestly, the problem is on Sunday is like people still want to play games. They also want to watch the tournament, but they want to shop and play games as well. I don't know if this is possible, but like even having it so that the entry into the venue where you go for the arena also has the shopping be cool. Or like if the Thursday was the shopping day, trying to do it during the tournament for some people is hard. I basically like scheduled my shopping after my commentary, where I like grabbed as much stuff as I could and like lugged it back to my hotel. You know what I mean? I got a ton of little charms and I got 2 new devices. There was a lot of cool stuff in the venue too that was not just the artist alley and the booths from all the devs. There was an arcade stick museum, and it was like historically all these cool arcade sticks. It was fun to walk through. There was like old Moste sticks. Yeah, I think like 80 or 90% of the collection is Markman stuff. So as you can see, they all have like plaques by them, and it's like a description of what the stick is, right? So it's like, this is this stick, this is where it's from. Yeah, look at this thing. This is cool. The golden stick from 2010. These are rare. I would say that it compares much more to an event like Combo Breaker now, or CEO, where like playing casuals and hanging out in the venue is a much more viable thing than in previous EVOs, where you really only played in tournament in the venue. That's why first place winning was so small. Go to youtube.com and type Sajam prize pools and then hit enter. That whole thing everybody's talking about on Twitter, I did that like a year ago. You'll find a video from like a year ago. You'll find another one from 6 months ago. You'll find another one from 2 months ago. And you'll find another one from a month ago. You got a lot of content to catch up on. I had a good time there. A lot of fun. I mean this when I say I could not move in the venue. When I was walking around, there were so many people who came up to say hi, and that was awesome. We did a meet and greet also, Steve and we did the meet and greet for 1 hour. The line was still wrapped around the booth. So we walked around and did a giant group picture with everybody who was still waiting, and then Steve had to go, so he stayed only for like 5 minutes or something. But then I just stayed until the line was gone because I didn't have any other work. Thanks for saying hi if you're at Evo, and don't be afraid to come up and say what up. If I'm too busy, I will tell you. I think the best top 8 was probably Street Fighter. It was very good. Guilty Gear was great, but it was so late. I told you guys this before, but being the last top 8 is the worst. Like DBFZ finals going until 2 in the morning, I was in bed watching, and I was like, if this shit resets, I'm going the fuck to bed. And then I saw that shit, I saw the hit, and I closed the phone and I was out. I was hard night before the combo was over. That's just a problem. Being the second to last top 8 is the best time slot of the tournament. That's why next year, when Street Fighter 6 is the last game of the tournament, cool for that game. That shit is too late. Just how it goes. The Hotashi thing too, I'm on commentary, and so the commentary feed, I have a feed of the game, or the players, and then I have like, there's like other camera feeds, right? During the match of him versus Slash, I could see like while he's getting hit, like Hotashi's like looking behind him. He's not even looking at the screen. He was like staring back at this guy in the middle of the match, like, what the fuck is happening? And then he like died and was like talking and stuff. And I was very confused. It was like midnight. I did not have the energy to figure it out. Wish we had gotten a copy pasta out of it. The Latif copy pasta. I got some words about the Latif copy pasta because it's a true shame, you know that. Because Latif, he lost the Zato mirror twice. Got 9th place at Evo and was out of the tournament, and then made a tweet saying basically, I'm the best at this game, but this game is also random, or so, like essentially that's like the energy, right? Which is pretty funny, I have to say. I think if his tweet was literally just GG's, I lost the mirror twice, like I'll catch you guys next time, everybody would think Latif is like the best, you know what I mean? Because before that, everybody did think he was the best. People would have been like, oh yeah, I mean, he lost the mirror twice, but Latif's the best. Like if he would have made it in the top 8, he would have smoked everybody. All he had to do was not say what he said, and everybody would have been like, he's still the best. But by tweeting that, everybody now is like, you suck. Big Left's the best. Pep with the finger wag, like all this stuff. If you just don't say that, then like everybody will still love you. But like when you make a tweet like that, it's very rough. What do you think about Japan's performance at EVO? You know, this is not Guilty Gear related, but as like a spectator for Street Fighter V, because I still watch the game a lot, and I know a thing or two about it. While watching everybody talk about which region's the best, you know, the NA, Midwest, West Coast, East Coast, Dominican Republic, the GOAT, Europe, the best. All I can think while watching that game is like, damn, Japan is the best. Region-wise, Japan has looked so incredible. And like that hasn't changed. And like Idom almost did it. Like he's a beast. But to me, it's like so clear, and it always has been. If you look at historically how the Capcom Cup like split and how it looks, that it's the strongest region. There's no denying that the best European players, North American players, players from Japan, DR, South America, wherever, are like, they can all hang with each other. The field for them is so incredibly deep that they're very good. So Idom's run was incredibly good. Even if he won the tournament, I don't think that would change my opinion. As far as like Japan and Guilty Gear, I mean, not all of them traveled. I asked somebody who came to EVO from Japan how much their flight cost. They didn't pay for it. Like, you know, it was paid for by EVO. Guess how much it costs for a flight from Tokyo to Vegas for the weekend? They got it at a steal at $2,200. That was low. All the other numbers I've seen have been $3,000 to $4,000. There's a reason a lot of players from Japan didn't go to EVO, right? It's expensive. China not being able to come to the country for KOF because like they're not allowed to leave. That's just how it goes. Like it's brutal. Yeah, I mean, traveling domestically too. So many people had travel issues going to and from EVO. The EVO staff offered me a flight for being a commentator. And I was like, just pay for my gas. Somebody else from SoCal I know was like delayed like 5 or 6 hours trying to fly. And like, it took me 3.5 hours to drive there. So, you know, honestly, I have to say the AMV that they did was so cool. In 2022 to like cut together an AMV is really goofy, but like, it's also, it kind of fits the spirit of the franchise. You know what I mean? Give me an anime. It'd be cool. This AMV is so good. It's also so funny, like, that they did this. Like, it's like a summation of the story, basically, right? I think it's really cool. I think this is a really good idea to do. Yeah, showing, like, the explosion in the beginning of it. Look at... You see how narrow Soul's face is in that shot? Yeah, no, I mean, Strive's story is like not really represented that much. A lot more of this is about like the beginning and like the last game, but it's okay, I think. This is so cool, by the way. Seeing boss mode Ram. This is really good. I mean, it's so good. The story, like, Soul is such a cool character. Dude. Tell me this is not the coolest shot, by the way. Everything with Justice in this trailer is so good. Like, look at... I mean, come on. It's all so good. This shit is tight, right? And this shot is really cool, too. This is a cool video. It's a cool video. I'm really happy they put this together. Does this make me want to play Soul again? Yeah. I was like watching this and I was like, I should play some Soul. I did. Watching it, I was like, yeah, I should play some Soul. It really made me want to play him again. I mean, come on, dude. It's so good. I would love to watch it. I don't know how they are going to pay for it and make it happen, but it'd be very cool. Oh my God, the IRL Will It Kill? I didn't talk about that. I should talk about that, actually, before we play. That's a great point. Will It Kill was inspired by EVO. So EVO did a section in the arena where, like, if you were there watching in person, like, they would play clips and then pause it and be like, yo, is this going to kill? Yes or no? And then the people on the mic be like, what do you think, crowd? Is it a yes? Is it a no? And they would just get people excited, right? It was not for the people watching at home. So this year at EVO, there was an idea of me doing an actual Will It Kill there, but it was kind of last minute and I didn't want to like do it and make it stressful for a lot of people, myself and a bunch of other people included, production and otherwise. So it didn't happen. But then during the finals day, I was watching the Tekken one and I thought it was really funny. Then I was like, oh wait, Street Fighter's next, right? And I asked, do you mind or do you care if I do one of them? Like, do you think that would be funny? And basically everybody was like, yeah, you should do it. So I asked production. Production was like, I don't care, just grab a mic. When the Street Fighter Will It Kill was gonna start, Jeremy just introduced me and I walked down and took the in-house mic and just did the thing. It was pretty good, I have to say, because everybody was like mad hype, and then I got to go out and say alrighty there Evo. Pretty nice, I gotta say. That got a nice big pop from the crowd. So I got to do the Will It Kill live from the front of this giant arena with all these people and ask how everybody's record was doing and stuff, which is really cool. Like, this is fucking tight. And I got to say it in the end. I'm gonna head out of here before Capcom finds me. Which was pretty great. I think the crowd liked that one. Everybody in the crowd was like holding up their records, you know? They were like 3-0 and like telling me the records. It was really cool. I'm not gonna say I expected to do it, but it was probably my favorite moment of the weekend. It felt real good. We got ads instead. I heard that the amount of ads that were put onto the stream was not supposed to be that way, and some things happened. So I hope that gets fixed for next year. I think obviously that's every person's feedback, is that there was way too many ads. I don't want there to be that many ads. I want to commentate.